In today's video, we'll be going over a detailed overview of primitive data types in Java. Now, before diving into all the different primitive types, we must first understand the difference between the two types of data types in Java and what each one means. Primitive data types are the basic data types that are used to create more complicated and intricate data types. They are predefined in Java and have a fixed size. Non-primitive data types are created by the programmer with the exception of strings. They are not predefined in Java, and they refer to objects. The first data type we will be looking at is a byte. Bytes are integer types, meaning they store whole numbers. They can hold numbers in the range from -128 to 127, and they only use 1 byte of memory. A variable is declared using the byte keyword as shown by the syntax on the right. The main use for a byte data type is to save space when dealing with manageable whole numbers. The next data type we will be looking at is a short. Similar to bytes, shorts are also integer types. They can hold numbers in the range of -32,768 to 32,767, and they use 2 bytes of memory. A variable is declared using the short keyword as shown by the syntax. The main use for the short data type is to save space when dealing with numbers that cannot be represented using a byte. Staying on the topic of integer types, the next data type we'll be looking at is the int data type. Ints are integer data types that hold a large range of whole number values, as shown on the slides, while only using 4 bytes of memory. The variable is declared using the int keyword as shown by the example. So the main use of the int data type is to represent numbers that are too large or small to fit in the range of a byte or short, while at the same time saving 4 bytes in opposed to using a long data type. The long data type is the last primitive integer data type we'll be looking at in this video. The long type uses 8 bytes of memory and is declared using the long keyword. The main use of long data types is to represent extremely large or small whole numbers. Moving on from integers, let's look at another set of primitive data types, starting with the float. The float is a floating point data type, meaning it can be representing decimal numbers up to a certain precision. In this case, floats can store up to 7 decimal places and use 4 bytes of memory. To declare a float variable, one must use the float keyword along with adding an f at the end of the number. However, adding the f is optional, as shown on the right. Floats are used when the decimal number falls into the following range, and it saves 4 bytes instead of using a double, which takes up 8 bytes of memory. The next floating point data type we'll be looking at is the double. Doubles can store up to 15 decimal places and use 8 bytes of memory. The variable is declared using the double keyword. This data type is used when a number is not able to be represented using a float data type, and it provides extremely precise representation of a decimal number. Now let's take a look at the Boolean data type. A Boolean data type can only take in one of two values, true or false, and a variable is declared using the Boolean keyword. So why use a Boolean data type? So a Boolean data type is used in a conditional or when a choice needs to be made. Finally, the last primitive data type we'll be looking at is the char data type. A char data type is used to store an uppercase or lowercase character. Variable is declared using the char keyword, and it is enclosed in single quotes. So the only time to use a char data type is when you need to store a single character. Thank you so much for watching. Please leave any questions or feedback about this lesson in the comment section below. In the next video, we'll be going over non-primitive data types and how you can make your own using primitives.